What's up, everybody? Hope you had a Merry Christmas. It's almost the new year, but not quite, and the track is closed until January, so I'm gonna knock out some mechanical stuff while I'm waiting for the track to reopen. The last time I had the Miata out on track, it actually did really well. I set a new personal best by almost 4 seconds, so I was really proud of that. But there was a significant problem that's kind of been building over time, and that's that the car does not like to shift into third gear if you're at high RPMs, full throttle. It works fine on street driving, but for some reason at the track, it's just really crunchy going into third. I'm hoping I don't need a transmission rebuild or new synchros or something like that. There are a couple of issues related to the clutch and the shifter that I thought I might deal with and hopefully resolve the issue. Number one, the shifter probably needs a rebuild, so I got a kit for doing that. Number two, I noticed that my clutch slave is leaking, and so that needs to be replaced. Also, the clutch fluid is almost black, so that needs to be replaced as well, which is part of replacing the clutch slave anyway. And finally, I'm not sure if I fully filled the transmission fluid when I changed it. I put in the fluid that I had, but it didn't start leaking out of the top, and so I'm wondering if the trans fluid isn't totally full. So I'm gonna try resolving all of that stuff today and see if that doesn't help me the next time I'm out on the track. Let's get to work. All right, so step one's going to be to replace that clutch slave cylinder and flush all the clutch fluid. Normally this is the stage where I would turn to YouTube and kind of figure out how it's done. But today we told our kids that it would be a no screen day for the entire family. I don't think that the little viewfinder on the camera counts as a screen. So anyway, point is I'm just gonna wing it and do it based on what makes sense. So first I'm gonna use a syringe to pull all the fluid out of the clutch reservoir, and then I'm going to remove the slave and put the new one on and then figure out how to bleed the thing, which my understanding is that's gonna be a little bit of a pain. All right, let's take a look at the fluid in the clutch master cylinder reservoir here. And as you can see, it's a little low, and it is also completely opaque and a dark gray color. So that's not what we want. We'll need to get the wheel off to get easier access to the clutch slave, but you can see in there, I think, that it is a little moist. That's not what we want. All right, whenever you're dealing with brake fluid, which is what is used in this clutch, you really don't want to get it on anything or on the paint. And when you're gonna flush it, you want to extract as much of the bad old stuff as you can get out. And so in this case, a syringe, of course I didn't bring the plunger, but a syringe can be used to empty that reservoir. Oh man, that stuff is nasty. Holy crap. Always a good idea to have shop towels around when you're dealing with this stuff. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in there. Let's see if I can get it out. Man, look at that stuff. It is just nasty, nasty, nasty. All right, so now that we've got the fluid out of the cylinder, that's gonna minimize how much is gonna come out when I remove the slave. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the old slave cylinder from underneath the car. Ow. Oh man, that hurt. Yep, got it. Alrighty, so this pin here is definitely all kind of gunked up with crud, and certainly not smooth. In fact, it looks like it's corroded. This is also super gunky. I don't know if that had like grease on it intentionally or not, but this thing has seen better days. So let's see what our new one looks like. Yeah, much nicer. All right, I got the new clutch slave installed, so now we need to get fluid in and bleed the whole thing. Not exactly sure how that's going to work. I imagine it involves pumping the clutch pedal, so I might need assistance for that, but just going to give it a go. All right, we've got fresh brake fluid in the reservoir.
Yeah, videoing me, are you?
No, get in the car.
Why are you trying to put me out there looking like this?
Get in the car.
Look at me.
You look great. All right, so we're trying to bleed the clutch. Get in the car.
I know.
Okay, I want you to, you know which pedal the clutch pedal is? Yeah?
The middle one?
The far left one.
Okay.
And push it in. Whoa, release it. Get a little spurt. Push it in. Oh! It got me in the face. It's funny that you don't want brake fluid in your face. It's poison!
Better than burn your skin off. Find yourself a new man.
Push it in. Release it. Push it in. Release it. Push it in. Release it. I think we got her bled. Look at the clutch fluid. Now, clear stuff was coming out at the end. It was completely clear. But that stuff that was in the system, muy malo, nasty. All right, I've got the new clutch slave installed, and I have flushed all the fluid in the clutch system and bled it. I don't know if it's fully bled because the pedal feels like a little soft and mushy to me. So I might drive it around just to confirm and then bleed it some more after that. But before I do that, I'm going to install this shifter rebuild kit that I've got. Okay, this is the 5X Racing shifter rebuild kit that I got. This is the race spec kit. It did not come with instructions. I know they're online, so even though I promised my daughter that I would use no screens today, I am going to hop on the computer just to get the instructions for this, and then we'll get started. Okay, found the instructions online. I'm ready to get started. Only takes a couple of tools. I am going to first remove the center console. Center console is out. Okay, with the center console out, we are going to now remove the shifter. Looks like it is actually all tore up. Check that out. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. All right, it says, take your shifter assembly to a workbench, remove the shifter bushing, by knocking it off with a rubber hammer. Let's see if we can knock this off. Whoa! Well, that's one way to get it off. It's shattered. Remove the upper shift boot. If it is in good condition, I mean, it's in okay condition, but I do have a new one. Yeah, I'm just going to cut that off because I don't have any reason to keep it. Okay. Go. Man, this thing is filthy. Filthy. All right, almost done. I just need to put this bushing onto the shifter here. So need to grease it. All right, so here's the shifter with the new bits on it, ready to go in the car. Okay, I struggled for a little while with some of the steps, and then I realized I was looking at the instructions for the NA Miata and not the NB. And then I moved on and struggled with getting this dowel pin out. Maybe you can see that there. And the instructions called for using vice grips to push that out. I ended up using a ball joint separator, and that worked perfectly, although it did put some tiny little gouge marks in the housing there. No big deal. So now I just need to pry this the rest of the way out and I can move on with my life. I have the shifter rebuilt and ready to go in. So I just need to align everything. Okay, and then we just get this rotated into place. See how she feels. Ooh, a lot more feel. Huh. Well, that doesn't feel right at all, though. Okay, we've replaced the clutch slave cylinder. We've bled the clutch. We've installed the 5X Racing shifter rebuild kit. I don't know, it felt weird to me just shifting it with the car, you know, up on the stands. So I'm not quite sure about that yet, but I also suspect that maybe I need to bleed the clutch a little bit more. But before I try that, I'm going to go ahead and top off the transmission fluid because it wasn't completely full when I changed it. Also, I realized that when I changed it, whoever had done it the last time had installed the drain plug at the top and the fill plug at the bottom, which means the magnet for the drain plug isn't at the bottom. So I'm going to see if I can remedy that without losing too much of the transmission fluid in the process. Okay, here we are underneath the transmission. This is probably ill-advised, but whatever. So let's confirm that this if this fill plug is indeed the drain plug. And yeah, it's magnetic. So this is not the fill plug, this is the drain plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can swap it out. Oh shoot. Swap it out without losing all of my transmission fluid in the process. This is a dumb idea, but it's gonna bother me if I don't do it. Gosh, no, that's fine. Okay. Okay, that really wasn't too bad. Okay, so the plan here is to fill this. Oh shoot. Oh, I got a knife. Maybe that'll work. Oh, are you serious? Oh, I didn't take the little tab off. That's why. Okay, that was good practice. There we go. Okay. Second run this time with the container open. Okay, that's taking more than I was expecting it would. Okay, now it's starting to leak. So I think that means we got it. Yeah, we got it. Goes in. Come on. All right, let's try bleeding the clutch a little bit more, and then I think we'll be ready to put it back on the ground and do a test drive. All right, got a bit of a problem here. The car is supposed to be in neutral, but the wheels are turning. Okay, I guess I've got it figured out. For some reason, if the lower shift boot is overly tightened, then the shifter feels bad. But if I back it off just a little bit, it feels really good. So there's something that's applying too much pressure, I guess, if I tighten that down all the way. And then after Googling, I found that it is totally normal for wheels to spin in neutral a little bit if the car's up off the ground, just because the fluid in the trans, I guess, provides enough friction to make that happen even when the car's not in gear. So that's weird. Chalk that up to, you know, something I learned. So anyway, we're gonna button it all back up and then I'll take it out for a test drive and see what happens. So far so good. The clutch feels fine. I think it feels the same as it did before. No notable improvement on that front. The shifter definitely feels good. And with that brass bushing, it feels more precise, so I like that. That's a problem. It's nice that all of the things that I did were successful projects, but I think I've just confirmed that my third gear synchros are pretty trashy. I feel a lot more detail in the feel of the shifter now, and it helps to get it into gear, but it's not what I would call a good feeling. It's what I would call a bad feeling. So I guess I'll have to look into what it would take to get a refresh done on this transmission. That's not really something that I am interested in taking on myself, but I don't know. And then that makes me think maybe I should just get a 5-speed. They're supposed to be more durable. Oh. What are you gonna do? It's not the worst thing in the world, but if recent experience has taught me anything, it's that I need to get this taken care of sooner than later, because otherwise I'm just not going to enjoy the car. And it would be silly not to enjoy the car because of a bum synchro. All right, I think we're going to end it here. You know, mission success in terms of tackling all the little transmission related projects that I had on my plate, but a fail in terms of solving the issue that I was hoping I was going to be able to solve. So yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. See you next time.